That's right. Tonight, officials are warning of pandemic fatigue. They say after 8 months of wearing masks and social distancing, people are just tired. But also, as we head into flu season, they say this is not the time to ease up.
We can't get tired because the virus isn't tired.
A warning from Governor Sisolak during a Tuesday evening press conference after a spike in COVID-19 cases here in Nevada.
We are beginning, just very beginning, to see an alarming trend in the number of cases and hospitalizations in Nevada.
We went to the Southern Nevada Health District to ask if what we're seeing could be the second wave of the virus.
We are seeing a slight increase in the number of cases in the last few weeks or so, but I wouldn't say that that means that we're in a second phase of the outbreak, at least not just yet.
Clark County has had more than 75,000 confirmed cases of COVID-19 and more than 1,400 deaths. At the end of September, the COVID-19 task force removed us from the state's high-risk list. But not even 1 month later, and Clark County is already back on that list. Officials say pandemic fatigue may be to blame.
We all feel COVID fatigue, and it results in riskier behavior and complacency.
Pandemic fatigue or COVID fatigue, where people are just getting tired of all the restrictions and all the things that they need to do to try to mitigate the spread.
With flu season approaching and the symptoms being so similar to COVID, it could put even more of a burden on our healthcare workers. Officials say it's dire that people keep following safety guidelines.
We've not lived through, an influenza season where we had a second virus that's spreading in the community.
So could we be on the brink of another shutdown?
We're not at that point now. I don't want to get to that point. And every single Nevadan can make a difference on us getting to that point or not.
If you're sitting at home thinking this pandemic has lasted forever and there's no end in sight, you aren't alone. Health officials and state officials are fighting something new, COVID apathy, people getting comfortable and wanting to get rid of the masks altogether. There's no better sign of the times than this. A conversation with a stranger about their plans for Thanksgiving turns to talk about mortality.
I'm 64. Does it scare me? No, because it's life, and we have to deal with life.
Mita Marshall is willing to risk it all to be with family. She's still wearing a mask, staying away from crowds, but we have gotten to that point in the pandemic where life or death comes up in conversation. It's that comfort level and our frustration with being cooped up that is fueling COVID apathy here and across the country. Nevada's COVID task force is worried.
People get a level of comfort around friends or coworkers, and then the infection, if present, spreads very easily. So just reminding folks again to wear their masks. It is individual behavior that will cause a wave or not.
The task force is trying to reinforce just how important masks, hand washing, and social distancing are as the holidays quickly approach and COVID cases rise. But more people seem to be rebelling. Want proof? Meet Ian Bain, the founder of No Mask Nevada PAC, says his group is getting more engagement now than ever before.
Most of the people who support us and go on our Facebook page believe this is 100% politics.
Is that a dangerous thought, though? Because we are dealing with this virus, this disease that's been around and is continuing to worsen.
I think that whenever you talk about health care, there's always a potentiality of danger. So the question is, who makes these decisions? Do you make the decision, or does the government make those decisions?
Of course, listening to him is where we met Mita. She was rolling her eyes. Is she tired of wearing a mask? Sure. But, well, she puts it best.
To just panic about it, I can't. Wear a mask? Yeah, I'm not stupid.
Downtown Las Vegas, John Trainer, News 3.
Raiders rookie Damon Arnette is now on the COVID reserve list, so that means he either tested positive or he was in contact with someone who did test positive for the virus. Arnette started 3 games this year before going on IR when he needed surgery on his thumb. Arnette's the second Raider to go on the list. Maurice Hurst was placed on the list 2 weeks ago, but returned to practice yesterday.
Hi, good afternoon. And as you can see, some people pulling up behind me to physically drop off those mail-in ballots in person. The official count to get those results starting today, though, as Heather pointed out, they won't be released until Election Day. Of course, that is November 3rd, 2020. Now, when it comes at least to what county officials are up to this afternoon, take a look. Wheeled in, loaded up boxes of mail-in ballots, headed under the scanner for the first time this election, beginning our region's processing of those votes that were actually mailed in. Now, 2 weeks out from Election Day, Clark County officials are starting now reporting that they have more than 87,000 ballots to process. That's about 7% of the mail-in ballots sent to registered voters right here in Clark County. Now, across our entire state, officials will be hard at work. 175,000 people have already turned in those mail-in ballots. Early in-person voting also beginning last Saturday, with those numbers also on the rise. The official tally now showing nearly 80,000 voters in person just here locally. Now, just like with early voting, county officials say that the selections made on those mail-in ballots are now going to be going through the processing, though they will be stored until the state secretary gives the all clear to release those unofficial results on November 3rd, 2020.
These ballots are not going to be tabulated. They're only turnout that we're reporting now. It's not until election night when we actually release totals.